December 2001. America's 7th largest company files for bankruptcy. $63 billion gone. 20,000 employees wiped out. Wall Street shocked, not because it happened, but because no one could explain how. You think hard work builds wealth. Enron's employees logged 80-hour weeks. They were Fortune's most innovative company for 6 straight years. Then the lights went out. Your 40-hour work week, worthless. When the CEO cashes out while you re-swiping your credit card at the grocery store for $50 of milk. Enron's traders moved $10 million in gas contracts with one click. Your rent is due next week. Your car loan payment is $400. But Enron's executives, they were living in mansions while you were burning out. This isn't a story about one company. It's about the system that eats your labor and spits out your retirement. You believe innovation is safe. Enron sold nothing but air. Your 401k balance, 0. Your rent check, still due. Your survival buffer, gone. You think your job is secure. Enron's employees thought the same. Then the crash. This is the lie you've been sold. That effort equals security. It doesn't. It equals collateral. Your time, your sweat, your credit card debt, all building someone else's exit. While you're stressed about next month's bills, they're selling stock options. This is the first truth. Hard work is currency for the asset owners, not for you. $63 billion vanished. 20,000 employees lost pensions. Your rent is $1,200. Your car loan is $400. But Enron's CEO, Ken Lay, sold $500 million in stock before the crash. You held Enron stock in your 401k because HR called it the future. You were buying it with your salary, $60,000 a year, while you paid $200 for groceries. Skilling traders moved $10 million in gas contracts with a click. You thought you were building wealth. You were building their offshore accounts. The math is brutal. $63 billion gone. 20,000 people broke. One CEO cashed out. Your salary gone. Your retirement gone. Their wealth still intact. This isn't bad luck. It's asset ownership logic. You own your labor. They own the stock. When the asset crashes, you lose everything. They lose nothing because they own the exit. You don't. Every hour you work, you add value to their stock. Your rent check is $1,200. Your credit card bill is $800. But Enron's executives, they got paid in stock options. $500 million. You got paid in salary and company stock. Then the stock became worthless. Your 401k balance, $0. Your survival buffer, $0. This is the reality. Your effort funds their exit, not your security. Enron didn't sell energy. It sold the illusion of the future. The real value was in the stock options held by Skilling and Lay. Your labor built their wealth. Your 401k was collateral. When the market reset, your retirement vanished. But their offshore accounts still full. You think you're building wealth. You're building their escape hatch. Every hour you work, you're adding value to their stock. Your rent is due next week. Your car loan payment is $400. But Enron's executives, they were paid in stock options. They cashed out $500 million. You were paid in salary and company stock. Then the stock became worthless. Your salary gone. Your stock gone. Your retirement gone. But their wealth still there. This is the asset ownership logic. You own your labor. They own the assets. When the asset crashes, you lose everything. They lose nothing because they own the exit. You don't. This is the lie of innovation. Enron was a tech company. No. It was a stock option machine for them. Not for you. You worked 80-hour weeks. You paid $1,200 rent. You owed $400 car loan. But the asset owner, they got the upside. The downside was yours. This is why your effort is systematically harvested. Your 401k balance, zero. Their exit, still intact. Your action today. Check your retirement account. If one company is over 10% of your portfolio, sell half by 5 p.m. Not tomorrow, today. While you're paying your credit card bill, do this. It's mechanical. It's boring. It's 3 clicks. But it breaks the cycle. Why 10%? Because if that company crashes, you lose 10% of your retirement, not 100%. Enron employees had 60% of their 401k in Enron stock. They lost 60%. You have 10%. You lose 10%. Then you have 90% left. That's your survival buffer. Do it now, not when the market crashes. Now, while you're at the grocery store, pull out your phone, check your 401k. If one company is over 10%, sell half. It takes 2 minutes, but it saves your retirement. This is the tiny action. It's not sexy. It's not a promise of wealth. It's survival. Do it. Today, you have 72 hours to reverse this trade. Then, the market resets. This isn't about getting rich. It's about not losing what you have. Your survival buffer starts now. You don't need to be a genius. You need to be safe. This action gives you an exit, right? If the market crashes, you have 90% left. That's enough to pay your rent for 6 months. Enough to cover your car loan for a year. Enough to survive. This isn't a promise of wealth. It's a promise of survival. You have the right to exit now. Before the crash, not after. The market doesn't wait for you. It resets. Your 401k is your life. Protect it. Do the action. Then sleep. You've done your part. The rest is up to the market. But you've built a buffer. That's all you need. Do it now. Then close this tab. Your survival starts with 1 click, but the stock price just kept climbing. So nobody questioned it anymore. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, something was quietly unraveling dangerously. By the late 90s, Enron had become legendary. The stock shot up from $7 in 1997 to over $90 by 2000. That's more than 1,000% increase in just 3 years. If you put your money into Enron instead of groceries, you were hailed as a financial genius. The media called it a miracle. Executives called it a party. But behind all that celebration and glossy presentations, the math didn't add up. Enron promised nonstop growth, big numbers, and no bad quarters. But energy markets aren't like viral social media hits that spike every week. So they switched the rules, introducing something called mark-to-market accounting. That's a fancy way of saying they counted profits from deals that hadn't even come to pass and might not ever happen. Here is how it worked. Enron would sign a 10-year energy contract, and instead of waiting for actual cash deliveries, they immediately counted all 10 years of projected profits. Is that allowed? Officially, yes. On paper, this made Enron look like a cash-generating machine. But many of those contracts were barely profitable or hadn't even kicked off. Some projections were so optimistic, they made horoscopes look cautious. Inside the company, it was chaos. But as long as the public image dazzled, nobody dared look too closely. When the real numbers didn't match, in stepped Andy Fasto, Enron's CFO. His job was essentially storytelling. With finances, he set up dozens of outside entities called special purpose entities or SPES. These were technically separate from Enron, but completely controlled by it. Here's the trick. Enron would sell its worst deals, failing assets, or ones losing value. To these SPEs, on paper, it looked like Enron was shedding risk and raising cash. In reality, Enron was funding both sides of the transaction. It's like selling your busted car to your dog, handing him your credit card, then telling your spouse, "Look, I made a sale." Fasto even gave these entities goofy names, like LJM1, LJM2, and Raptor, because nothing screams legitimate companies like randomly generated acronyms. "I'm not breaking the rules, I'm just creatively using them," he'd say. Meanwhile, he juggled liabilities like flaming swords, while top executives quietly cashed out millions. At the supermarket checkout, if Enron's financials were a cart full of groceries, the barcode scan would come back, "Error." Yet, nobody stopped to question the price tag or who was profiting while the rest of us paid the bill. Now, stop buying into illusions. The only immediate action next time you review your paycheck, add up the deductions silently draining your account. $401K fees, management costs, fund underperformance, cut one unnecessary expense, maybe that daily $5 coffee run, and reroute that cash into a low-fee index fund. Don't wait for miracles. Your survival buffer starts with small, mechanical choices. End here. You think grinding away at your job and plowing your hard-earned paycheck into the company stock plan is a bulletproof path to retirement. Like clockwork, every payday, you watch numbers shuffle into that $401K, picturing beach views and lazy weekends. But here is the brutal math. For thousands at Enron, that blind trust was a lie disguised as loyalty. Their employers pushed them to dump their entire retirement savings into Enron stock. Turn those savings accounts into glorified casino chips, stamped 401K Enron. Imagine sweating over monthly bills, a $4,900 mortgage, a $370 car loan, or that nagging $720 credit card payment, all while betting your future on one company's promises. The illusion sold was rock solid, with Wall Street giants like Merrill Lynch cheering it on, scooping up millions in fees from Enron's stock offerings, while publicly rating IT a shining buy. Picture their bonuses. Analysts padded their bank accounts with cushy payouts by ignoring ethics like an afterthought. Delve into the raw numbers. Employee retirement funds vanished overnight as Enron's stock plummeted, while execs stashed away stock options for villas and private jets. Crunch this reality. By 2001, Enron's revenue fiction was so ingrained that even a CEO resignation wasn't a red flag. Jeff Skilling just walked out mid-month after cashing in his chips, leaving his millions, family time, secure. While the payroll drained away for others, it wasn't a scandal yet, just quiet exits for the top, as the SEC sniffed around Enron's off-balance sheet smoke. Now, let's strip this down to ownership logic. Who really owns the gains versus the pain? Enron's insiders and their Wall Street cronies orchestrated the harvest, skimming off value like clockwork. Ken Lay, the founding alchemist, slid back as a figurehead, CEO grinning like a friendly neighbor, while VP Sharon W. Atkins sent desperate memos predicting implosion. But instead of digging into the messy spreadsheets, Lay treated it as a PR glitch, not fraud, focusing on better messaging over real fixes. Journalists started poking holes, asking simple questions. Why does this feel so confusing? Who owns those phantom entities? This was classic asset looting. The powerful kept the deeds to wealth, while regal AR folks ate the dust of collapsed hopes. The systemic ripoff hid behind jargon and complexity, making evasion easy. So here is a mechanical, boring fix to snap out of it.